So you just spent the last couple of months job hunting, applying, reacting to emails, keeping your resume up to date. You finally get yourself an interview. You get an email response. Recruiter says, "Hey, let's chat," and so it's pretty exciting. It's great. All your work's paid off, and you got a couple of days to get yourself ready for this initial conversation. And not everyone knows. Obviously, there's a lot that goes on in the background, but a lot of times as a recruiter, I meet candidates for the first time, and there's a huge variation between people who are prepared and not prepared. It's very obvious how much they know about the company. Have they read the job description? Have they done their homework, basically? And what I wanted to talk about today was how you get prepared for a job interview. What's your checklist? How you break it down? Recruiters are well prepared for interviews. They've got questionnaires, basically scripts on the questions they need to ask. They've got a specific job they're qualifying. They're going to run through all of the logistical pieces of the interview itself, which is, are you looking for a contract perm? When can you start? Do you need to give notice? Are you working? Are you eligible? Legally eligible to work in the country? They'll break down all the skill sets that they need to qualify before presenting your resume to the manager, etc. So above and beyond all that, knowing that there's so much more to the interview process, and one of the things you want to cover is you want to have a checklist. A lot of people go backwards. They get the interview and then they jump and they start researching the company. That's the first thing you need to do. You shouldn't be applying to jobs with companies that you wouldn't want to work for anyway. So there's a good start. So checklist number one, have you done your research? And how do you do your research? Here's some tips where you want to go. Obviously, LinkedIn's a great resource for information on companies. They'll give you stats on number of employees over history. You get to look at who the employees are. Do you know people in the organization? Those sorts of things. But if you go to Glassdoor, which is a big one, you're gonna get reviews on interviews, past employees, current employees. You're gonna get salary information. These are golden nuggets that you need as an interviewer to prepare yourself for your interview with the organization. Other places to go, Indeed is a great place. They've got information as well. But outside of that, there's platforms like Blind, Comparably, and even was it Fairy God Boss? I believe that's a women's focused platform. But anywhere you need to go to get this information, where you can find out the little tidbits of information on the organization. A big one is corporate websites. They'll have a careers page, they'll have a news feed, they'll have investors or information on the organization, financial, etc. You want to go through all of this and really get a good sense of the organization you're joining, the size, scope, scale, etc. Before you get into that. This information will help you script questions that you want to ask later as well. So very important you get in that. Again, LinkedIn gives employees over time. Glassdoor gives you open jobs, salary reviews, etc. So very important that you get into this. Even reviews of the CEO approval levels, those sorts of things. So getting that done, that should have been done ahead of time. But if you haven't done it, go back and get that done. Really dig in, help you prepare your questions for the first interview, etc. Here's the really important stuff is, have you looked at the job description? Have you broken the job description down into what are the top skills that they're asking for? And that's important because each one of those skills you're going to be able to qualify your experience towards. So have you written out the job description, each one of the points, specific tool you need, how many years, industry, soft skills, hard skills, tech skills, etc. Written them all out. And for each one of those skills, do you have an example to qualify or prove your experience towards it? And this is where the storytelling comes in. How to phrase your story, how to tell back or put into words really succinctly how you're going to, how you prove your skills towards that or your experience towards those skills. I've got another couple of videos, and I've got some training that really helps you break down and how you put those responses together. But you need 1, 2, or 3 really good succinct examples of your experience for each one of those skill sets. Now that's specific to what they're looking for. Now then there's your standard soft skills, communication skills, etc. But what those break down to is values. What value do you bring to the organization? Are you able to generate income for the company? Are you able to increase efficiency, save them money? Service to your internal employees, customer service, how you build a brand, how you help grow the company. Standard one, so how you problem solve, how you break down a problem, how you handle a problem, whether that problem was a physical problem, a process problem, or how you handle a difficult discussion or situation with another employee, a team member, or a customer. Those are all very important. You need to have them right on top of mind. They're there. They may be old. They may be last year or 2 years or even 5 years ago, the best examples of what you've done to show your skills and experience and abilities to do that. Dust off those memories, bring them to top of mind, get them clear. Make sure you're not stuck in the and ahs every 2 seconds of I remember that, and I can't remember what tool was that, and I can't remember what project that was, or how much we did on how many people. Refresh that, go through your notes, make sure it's really, really succinct and detailed. And the values as well are very important, because those cover off everything else, all the little gaps, soft skills, hard skills, etc. So that's very important as well. Who are you meeting with? Is it first round interviews? You're probably going to be meeting with a recruiter pre-screen. There's a whole different set of agenda when you're meeting with a recruiter as opposed to when you're meeting with, let's say, a team member or HR or the actual hiring manager. So very important that you know who you're meeting with, who they are, what their agenda is going to be, and get your questions to that individual down pat as well. Recruiters are going to be asking questions like, why is the role open? Tell me about the culture here. All of those things, and get information from the recruiter as well that's going to help you with the second round interview if you're successful in getting to that second round, to help you prepare your questions, to help you prepare your answers as well. Really important to get into that. So each one of those stages is going to have a slightly different prep, a slightly different list of questions that you're going to ask as you go through. So that at the end of the process, you want to basically have all your questions answered, so you can make a very definitive answer, yes or no, if there's a job offer. So again, very important that you work through all those questions and as part of each step of the process. On top of that, once you're done all that, have you practiced these questions? Have you practiced these answers over and over and over and over? They should be top of mind real quick. If you don't do a lot of interviewing, you're not used to the kind of questions, there's some great resources out there, some websites out there that you can go to that will help you with practice questions. There's a great website, theinterviewguys.com, has thousands and thousands and thousands of questions on what you're going to be asked, depending, and it's role specific and level specific. So you can go there and look at the kind of questions that you're going to be asked and practice your answers. It's a great way to role play, sit in front of the mirror, role play, watch your body language, really get confident. The tone of your voice, the way you're able to answer questions clearly and confidently, very important. LinkedIn's got right under the job section, there's practice questions. Google has warm-up questions as well. There's lots of resources online. Practice. Go out, get there, get the practice. Really work hard on that, because train hard, play easy. Sports metaphor, but that's the way you do it. You practice hard, make it easy, so when you go in there, you're really confident. It makes a big difference at the end of the day. Logistically, are you going to be in an online Zoom call or Google Meets call or something like that? Make sure your background is set up. Make sure you're dressed appropriately. Make sure the lighting's appropriate. Your camera's set up properly. You test it to make sure. It's a bad first impression if you're fiddling for the first 5 minutes of an interview and you can't get your tech to work. It's a tough one. If you are going in person, where are you going? Have you checked for parking? Do you know where the office is? What floor it's on? Dress code. Ask that, it's fine to ask the person who's inviting you to the interview, what's the dress code? Where is there parking? Ask these questions. If you have the luxury, go the day before. Check out the traffic, etc. It's very important. Don't show up late. It's a barn burner. It's not a good thing. So hopefully some of these things will help you out. It's very important to plan your job search, but obviously this is a lot of work to do every time you have an interview. I recommend making a checklist. Just make a checklist of every single one of these things, so you got it covered. You got it done, and just go into every one of these interviews and just kill it. Just you're super confident. You just know, and if you don't get the job, there's probably someone a little bit better, but you did your absolute best. That's the best way to not get the job. But if you walk out of there and you couldn't remember, or you weren't prepared, it's horrible. It's on you. So do the work. Have fun. Stay safe. Hopefully we'll talk soon. Bye for now.